Welcoming you back to Crypto's Juiciest News. Moving on through FlopTober. Here we are, baby dolls. We are going to be moving closer towards President Pump and President Winnie the Pooh making some sort of deal. We're going to go through HyperLiquid. We're going to go through John Bollinger. We're going to go through some BTC, Year of the Horsey, Ferrari. Have you heard of their cars before? Some Kraken IPO Supercycle stuff. All of that coming your way and more. We're going to mog all the non-believers. I actually want to show you a bit of a special Easter egg. I know CZ's watching. CZ does follow me. Yes, the Binance CZ. And PancakeSwap have been watching me too. PancakeSwap, friends, made this post. Have you ever believed in something? Believe in something. I want you to believe in something. Hold my coin so they go up. I've been waiting 5 years. I mean, you even lined up for gold? Your target's not even high. Gosh, that's the most embarrassing part about all of that, the gold stuff, okay? Like, they're not lining up to sell it at 60,000. Even they know that's stupid. They're like, no, I'm buying at 4,300. It's going to 6,000. Really? You line up for a 50% move? Not even a 2x? Come on, retail. That's not going to help you retire. The BTC monthly candle, friends, we're making some ground. BTC up to 111,000 American dollars. Very nice monthly candle. Man, what a shocker of a candle. Fake up and fake down. Man, it really did get everybody out. Friends, actually, let's look at this again. These types of candles, you understand, like, this is horrific. This is literally shake the top and shake the bottom. This is like, hey, man, 4-year cycle. And you gotta think about how cruel it was out here. What they actually did, right? They faked the top. And they smack the bottom, and they're like, oh, 4-year cycle's done. Do you want out? Yeah, that's just crazy, man. It's a believer cycle, friends. It's a true believer cycle in it. I also want to give you a quick reminder. I show this to you all the time, right? Every day, friends. See, the Ethereum's monthly candle still hanging above the wedge. No one draws it like that, friends. It's kind of funny. I saw someone on Twitter. He did not draw that, okay? What he actually did draw, what they did was, they drew something like this, and they go, okay, we're going into a bear market. Ethereum's going to go down. They basically, they do it another way. They did not connect it like that whatsoever. It's kind of funny, just to, but you see what you want to see, man. It's you know what I mean? Like, that's why some people are like, oh, you didn't draw the triangle right or whatever. Go stuff yourself, bro. Like, everything's erratic. Everything breaks anyway. You can't get any real confidence in what you're doing. It's all bets, right? And it's all probabilities. This is the total crypto market cap, $3.7 trillion. Here is gold, man, sitting at 30 trillion up here. You can see the world assets. You see this chart, friends? World assets, stocks, golds, bonds, oil, cash, property, crypto, too small. Okay, we're at 3.7 trillion, bro. Come on, we're the future. Okay, AI is going to be using us. Yeah, of course it is. It's just so much better. Of course we're going to be using us. By the way, even if you say, no, AI is going to use US dollar. Okay. On which rail, though? They're not going to be using a US dollar adoonie on a JP Morgan account. They're going to be doing it with a stablecoin on a chain. The cryptocurrency industry. So, AI, friends, ass intelligence. Okay? They are coming for our coins. So, the future's looking bright. Doesn't feel bright because everything's trash. In terms of price, look at the BTC monthly price action, though. This is the 4-hour candles, right? So it's nice. We're still holding this W, okay? The next part, though, friends, is we're right here. It's kind of funny. We're like, literally, see that? We're like right on this triangle thing. Like, it's grinding. It's ready to go, baby. It's ready to go up here. There's probably going to be a lot of resistance here. I've even got a chart showing you blockchain backer, friends. Blockchain backer thinks... Actually, I'll just show you before we even get into it. He thinks what we're seeing now is... We're going to see, this is Ethereum's price chart, by the way. And so what I'm showing you is seeing this for even XRP. Everything is going to be basically going to be doing their lower high thing, and they can't rally, and it's all over. Okay? It's the retrace. That's what he's using the fractals out here. But, it's not just him. Most crypto KOLs, 50%, right? You got to think, friends. I know it feels like it's 50-50 a lot of the time, but no. When you have 50% of KOLs saying it's over, it's come on, man. Like, bull markets don't end because 50% of people say it's over. Bull markets die on euphoria. They die when everyone's in, okay? Because why? Because a bull market, it ends when you run out of buyers. Have you run out of buyers? No. There are plenty of people on the sidelines still. Every bear you see is a future buyer. That's what the market does. It goes and hunts you, man. It hunts you to the upside. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. We just haven't seen that in quite some time. You and I are going to crank it, though. Now, BTC. 111,000 American dollars. We are waiting for this 4-year cycle storm to be over. Because, look, I know the 4-year cycle cheaters, friends, they'll buy back in and they'll sell like January. I know that. I know for a fact they'll do that. So they will buy back in and they'll be selling in January. So it just basically tells me retail's not coming between now and December. That's it. It's going to be, I think we're going to get some sort of like forced up correlation move. That's it. That's what I feel like is going to happen. And the real move is going to happen next year. Yeah, it's going to have to embarrass him next year. Good thing is, though, this is gold, friends. Gold's still settling down. Gold's 9% off its top. Maybe it comes back down here. It's got to clear these prices. Okay, if you're like just waiting for these. Hopefully we see some more rotations into BTC. It takes a while, though. I know we want to see it immediately, but like it takes a while for it to settle. It doesn't just, they don't just go click in and click out. You know what I mean? They don't have these crack addictions like we do. The weekly chart of Bitcoin's looking really nice, friends. This doesn't look like it's all over, man. If we go back even to the end, if you look at what it looked like at the very, very, very end of 2021. Remember, Coinbase App Store hit ranking 1 here, just to let you know. Also, shout out to Sammy Chica from the Pulse Chain community. Even Sammy, I know, see, friends, I've got a lot of exotic top signals. I've got like 10, okay? The one that everyone can relate to is the Coinbase App Store ranking. Yeah, because retail, they've deleted their Coinbase app. They don't want, that's what happened, friends. It's kind of funny. A lot of you said, oh, but everyone's in crypto. No, dude. When they hate crypto, they sell the bottom and they actually uninstall it from their phone. Because whenever they see that shitty little Coinbase logo, you know when you see C for Coinbase, they think C for cucked. Like you got absolutely destroyed. You're bankrupt. You don't want to look at this crypto trash, okay? First 3 letters of crypto's cry for a reason. So they just delete it. They uninstall it from their phone. But then when things are feeling good, they're like, oh, it's time to install it again, right? And they never able to see beyond the next 6 weeks of their lives, right? Because they can't think of the future. All right, that's what we're here to do, long-term thinking. So Coinbase App Store hit ranking number 1 up here, friends, right? And if you're surprised, I am too. It also hit App Store ranking number 1 there. So we did not hit it at all. So even if you want to, so what I'm doing is I'm looking at this price action. You might say, oh, but we like dropped and we stalled out here and then we went down. That's actually where blockchain back is using his fractals here. So look, man, there's no perfect formula with everything. I'm just using context. Okay, that's it. I'm using context. Yeah. Coinbase App Store ranking, no euphoria. There's plenty of stuff coming out like the crypto IPO bubble. I haven't seen Ripple do their IPO. I haven't seen Gemini do their IPO. I haven't seen Kraken do their IPO. I haven't seen any of them do their IPOs, man. The initial poop offering where they just dump on retail. Have not seen that happen whatsoever. And doesn't have to happen? No. Nothing really has to happen, but, you know, I'm not getting out. That's it. I still think there's plenty of future buyers. Also, we just saw Bitcoin dominance cross below the 10-period moving average here, okay? We just saw it cross below. Like, yeah, you can get out, man. I'm not getting out. I'm like, oh, wow, you waited 3.5 years of this, actually 4.5 years, and now it's finally starting to turn, and now you want to get out? You know, I don't think so. Let me show you XRP, friends. XRP, one of the biggest altcoins in cryptocurrency industry. This is the XRP. So blockchain back up with his fractal. He thinks all it can do, it comes back up here. It can't go up. And then it begins the descent into hell. Okay. That's the fractal he's looking at. And he's going to be super, super, super scared here. So you might say, but Sommi, what do we need for it to go up? Well, at the end of this resolution, you know, mid-November, friends, this is where the gold fractal is. Isn't it crazy? So it's kind of like we're going to come up here and range a bit. And then in the middle of November, either the gold fractal rotation, right, because it's like an 86-day on average offset. Either we do this or once again, 50-50. That's what he's waiting for. I'm just showing, friends. I like how other people think on these shorter time frames. I'm still holding. It's been such an emotional... When you say emotional roller coaster, I know it is true technically, but it doesn't really feel like that. It feels like the euthanasia, you're spiraling into hell. You know what I mean? It's not like sad and happy. It's more like you're dying and then you're allowed to breathe for like 1 second. So someone's choking you. You can't breathe for 3 minutes, okay? Then they let go of your throat. You're like breathing now. All you get about is 1.5 seconds. they just start choking you again. That's all you get, you know. Is that 1.5 seconds of relief happiness? I mean, endorphins rush through your body, but I don't think it's real happiness, right? I've got some great news here for you, friends. John Bollinger is actually bullish. So John Bollinger, yes, the gentle sir, here he is, Johnny Boo. John, friends, man, Twitter's amazing, man. He's actually the dude who invented the Bollinger Band. Like the actual guy who invented the indicator. He hangs out with us on Twitter. Who doesn't like this chart? Please explain why. So John Bollinger, friends, so shout out to Robbie from our Telegram. He was very curious. He goes, Sommi, why is this chart bullish? Okay, now I've drawn these red lines to help you here. So why I like it, you gotta remember John, okay, friends, John posts literally when he makes a call, he's super infrequent, super rare. For crypto, it's once every 1 to 2 years. Okay, the last time he made the call was, let's actually get it. Let's actually look at Ethereum on a short-term time frame chart. Actually, we'll have a look here. We'll have a look at close Ethereum. Last time he did it, man, he got it was a nice Ethereum call. I think Ethereum was 1,300. It was actually here. It was around here. So this was Ethereum's call. Went literally straight up to $4,000. It's kind of funny, man. So this is March 2023. I think he made that call. He liked this on his time frames. You know, that's actually really good. You know, so he does very super infrequent calls, and I like looking at the charts of people who use big macro time frames. Yeah, because there's less filtering. It's harder to turn the ship, and he's using big weeklies and stuff. And he's got no real like big skin in the game or anything, right? So it's really good that he likes the W here of Bitcoin. He likes this starting to curl up here. Also, remember I showed you, friends, that great stats. When it is Bitcoin history, okay? And past performance doesn't indicate future results. But when there is a 30% open interest wipeout in the market, okay, basically 30% of leveraged positions get zeroed out and the exchanges reward them. When there is that much, okay, you go to the Bitcoin price on the end of that day, okay, and then you can test how often is it higher in 90 days from that point. Okay, so if we walk forward from October 10th and we move to January 10th, okay, what are the chances? How many times was Bitcoin up or down? The answer is 75% time it was up. Okay, 75% of the time, which is great, you know, because 4-year cycle, they're saying that, remember that price is about $105,000 to $110,000, 105, 102, where we are now, exactly where we are now. So if you're a 4-year cycle G, you don't think the market's still going to be hanging around there by January next year. It's already sinking down. I guess they believe Bitcoin's going to be more like 90 to 80,000 and working its way towards 70 next year. So we'll see. We'll see about how it plays out. So thank you to Mr. Johnny Bollinger out here. His username is B-Bands. I love him, bro. He's awesome. It is nice to see, right? But it doesn't tell you really where it's going up. No one knows the targets, right? Like we can go up and then fake out. There's always that too. So we don't have any of these 100% guarantees, but we'll play some Pumpy G music again. Now, some great fantastical news. Do you remember, fans? Backstory, I've been talking to you every day. I've been telling you that I've been very excited at the thought of HyperLiquid bringing out TradFi Perps. Okay, why? Because we are going to have crypto providing an oracle price for TradFi stuff 24/7. It'll allow them to hedge over weekends. It'll allow TradFi to just look at a market somewhere and play with other things. That's what I want them to do. I want them to see, this thing trades. And guess what? HyperLiquid just now, literally, I'm not joking, it's like 2 hours ago, they have released their Nasdaq 100 index. It's actually, it's a price oracle. Now, the funny part is they don't call it the Nasdaq 100. It's actually called, so if you go on to, this is HyperLiquid here, the website. If you go to up the top, you can't go to strict, you go to all, you go to HIP 3, and then you have the XYZ 100. To be in the HIP 3, it's kind of interesting, right? It costs $20 million to release a perp. You have to buy $20 million worth of hype, yeah? And I think 500,000 hype, however much it costs, and then you're allowed to get the ticker, and then you can trade, basically. And then I think you receive the fees. You receive the fees from it. So here's the Nasdaq. It actually, friends, they don't call the Nasdaq. Why? Because of regulation stuff. They don't want to like call it Nasdaq. They don't want to take the name. It's all branded and stuff out here. You're not allowed to do that. So they call it the XYZ 100. Man, we're just great. Now, this is the funniest part of all, friends. There were people who don't know what this is. So they started punting it above this level by 1%. You got to understand, man, I hate this industry, but I love the people. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, we seesaw. We go from, you know what, I want his all burn in hell. And then the next day, like, man, you got to love him. You got to love this spirit, dude. Like, it's just, because it's closed, everyone's like, screw it. Let's have a crack. Let's just see what we can do. It's just, bro, why is the world's biggest technology index swinging multiple percents on us? It's kind of funny. Now it's settled to the actual real price, 25,400. That's what it is. And it mimics, I guess, the NQ, which is the Nasdaq futures that's trading on the CME. But like, we're the cool one, because this is the cool thing, friends. Nasdaq futures, NQ, okay, you trade them by every 3-month expiry. Okay, that's how it is. So you trade the March contract, then when March 13 comes or whatever, they roll over, they start trading the June one. Then when June approaches, you switch over to the SEP. The deck, it's really annoying. You got to keep switching around. It is very annoying. That's when Arthur Gaze, when he made BitMEX, everyone was like, dude, why do we keep switching? Like, this sucks. I don't even know how this works. And he's like, you know what? Let's just make a freaking thing that never ever settles. Okay? Because there's no delivery of it. Because people just want to pump Bitcoin anyway. No one ever wants to collect it. So he just... It's typical crypto fashion. We're like, bro, you're just here to gamble the casino. You don't really care, right? But it's kind of like, friends, the roulette wheel. You know, if you go to any CAS or any gambling area, any gaming room, okay, they don't actually have a girl with her titties out actually rolling the thing. It's just the electronic thing. You know what I mean? Because we're like, wait a minute, like these people, okay, just put some robot titties. Put the roulette wheel. We don't actually need to have a girl in the room actually doing that. You know what I mean? It's just easier to just play the thing. It's randomized. So that's the exact same thing. And that's how some people comment on that, saying, you know, we're moving into more of like a ultra digital, hyper gambling, nihilistic view of everything, where you basically, if you go down to a fundamental level, you're just here for the dopamine. You're here for the dopamine. You don't care if you're buying. Friends, I can't wait. I hope one day they list something ridiculous like corn futures, and we all just start punting corn, the ZCs. Because it was funny just to see Ivan on tech on his platform now. He's got the he's showing cattle. He's got the actual the commodities, man. It's gonna be so funny. We're gonna make the biggest mockery of this financial TradFi casino, you know, because guess what, man? Once everyone looks at it, what are they here for? Oh, we're here to make money. Okay, how do you make money? Volatility. Okay, this shit coin's up 250%. And then that shit coin's up 80%. And that one's up 3,000% actually for the year. So what are you doing in your crappy little thing going up 0.5%? They're like, oh, but I'm here for long term. Okay, bro, but this, you know, you say you're here for long term, but they're mostly aren't. Most people are actually trading. They're actually trading. When they say long term, it's funny. Look, the average hold time for actual anybody in the stock market is about, the average is 6 months, 3 to 6 months. So that includes 30-year people, and then that's averaged out by all the people who are in it for like 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, okay? So when we get them all in the HyperLiquid, that's great. It doesn't have to just be HyperLiquid. It could be all of these as well. Pretty good. And yes, the Nasdaq futures just to start. I think up here as well, look, you can see others, friends. They're going to add Tesla, Nvidia. They've got gold. Now, there's already gold, but you can trade PAX gold, PAXG. It tracks the price 1 for 1. But I guess they're adding them, man. It's going to be fun. But the thing is, with the stocks, they only open in that 6 to 7 hour US window, right? And crypto, we're 24/7, man. You know what I mean? Like, and in crypto, everyone wants to trade. They don't want to get out of position and stuff. So, we'll see if they allow them 24/7. I'm sure they will, you know, and that's going to be mega interesting. Because if you're a Tesla holder or you trade Tesla, yeah, if crypto starts moving in the day and then the Nasdaq and S&P is going to move, okay, well, the Nasdaq, the Tesla and the Nvidia, okay, they're going to start moving as well. It's not going to, because right now you can actually punt these, but you have to punt them on the bucket shops on the internet, and they give you really wide spreads. But if HyperLiquid's around, people just start referencing this price, you know? So this is where, friends, we're merging everyone in. That's really good, really good. Because ultimately what you and I want is, we want people with $4.5 million stock market portfolios to come and get FOMO that some shitcoin that they thought was going to zero went up, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then they're like, oh my gosh, man, I've got to get into this crypto stuff. I've got like 50 grand to throw in, okay? We just want all those people to come and start having a look at it, because 50 grand is about 1%, right? So that's what we actually want. But right now, they just, they saw the industry drop 70% in 5 minutes, right? So that's pretty much what we're moving towards. So this is awesome that we're seeing all these TradFi actually coming. It makes it very exciting. Cool news as well. Bitcoin, friends. Have you heard of Bitcoin? It is now closed above $100,000 price for 170 days. Very interesting, man. Very interesting. 6 months. 6 months. You know what I'm interested about, friends? There was this famous call that Willy Woo, he does regret making it. When Bitcoin hit 50K, it hit $1 trillion market cap back in 2021. And he believed, and he said this, he goes, look, Bitcoin has now accepted the 1 trillion valuation. This is the new floor, okay? But we hadn't had enough time. So if we see when it hit 50K and actually made Uncle Peter Schiff capitulate, that's what made Uncle Peter Schiff capitulate, the 50K price of Bitcoin, right? It was up here for 84 days. Interesting. And then we had President Winnie the Pooh from China scamming us. Very interesting. And then when we came again back to 52K, we were only up here for 56 days. That's very interesting. I'm just done that for you live. So what I'm saying is Bitcoin holding above 100K in price is way longer now than when we first hit 50K, the 1 trillion market cap round number. So that's leaning more towards bullish. That's leaning more towards Bitcoin having higher odds now. It's survived above 100K for quite some time. Maybe we don't go under 100K until the ultimate bear market. We'll see. Now, moving on, friends. We have some exchange revenue reports. Kraken Q3 revenue soared 114% to reach 648 million. The IPO will be done for Kraken, Ripple, and Gemini. So if you go back, I'll show you my total crypto, basically our treasure chest, our war map, okay? Up the top, we got a meme coin super cycle, stablecoin super cycle, Bitcoin treasury bubble, and crypto IPO bubble, okay? Crypto IPO bubble's a part of it. That's part of my exotic top signal list alongside the Coinbase App Store ranking, right? Remember, Coinbase, friends, at the very, very top, Coinbase listed on the stock market. Yeah? That April 13th or whatever that day was. So I'm wondering if the IPOs of Ripple, Kraken, whatever, them actually listing, that's what's actually at the top. Maybe that's when maybe XRP does hit $9 or $10 or something, and it peaks on the listing of Ripple's share on the stock market. Maybe, you never know. Some of these things might all line up. And yes, they are all cash out things. They want to cash out because they can't get liquidity because everyone in crypto is poor, right? So they can't get bids from us. But Kraken, that's what they'll be doing. They'll put on the stock market. They want to see these real companies making real revenue and stuff. But it's kind of funny, we built DEXs, and DEXs are cool, right? And now we're giving them the centralized stuff for the stock marketers. But also, remember I showed you recently, HyperLiquid as well. They're going to try list, I think, on the stock market. They're going to go public. So they're going to list shares. They're going to try to do that. They're trying to raise $1 billion, I think. But it's $1 billion private, So it is interesting, all these things playing out. That doesn't happen at the start of a bear, man. None of this happens at the start of a bear, friend. That is start of a bull. You got to be honest, let's say no skin in the game, okay? You don't have a portfolio. You don't even like crypto, okay? You have straight posture, you got pointy elbows, you like orange juice, you don't like crypto. If I was to tell you, based off cycles and emotions and bull market dies on euphoria stuff, and then you're hearing, oh, there's still IPOs and stuff to come, and there's exchange listings that might happen in the future. That was not happening at the end of 2021, friends. You had all this SEC stuff, that was happening, and then but we did hit euphoria, just people went into Dogecoin stuff. We never even have that yet. Or we could be coping. We'll see. Ferrari is going to auction its Le Mans winning car using a new crypto token for elite fans. Wow. Remember, next year is Year of the Horse, okay? And the Ferrari logo is a little cute horsey, isn't it? Nay. Okay? So, Year of the Horse next year. We are in Year of the Snake. Friends, I hate to say it, but like, I think Bitcoin's cursed, man, for a while. I hate to say it. It breaks my heart. I think Bitcoin's cursed. Because, and I was in denial for this, but I came out of the shower. I was looking at my willy in the bathroom. And I was thinking, man, there's a lot of things we've got to think about. Bitcoin rallied in Year of the Snake. It's the strongest. You know, you just got to be honest with yourself. That's not good. That's not good. Okay, it's Year of the Snake, and you were succeeding. We got to have an honest conversation. If that was anything else, and we weren't in crypto, anything else, we're like, oh yeah, it's Year of the Snake. You know, snakes get rewarded. Look at Charlie Kirk got popped. Look at all the corruption. Look at all of that. Year of the Snake. Everything was a deception. You can even maybe use, you know, the volatility aspect of the stock market. Donald Trump saying, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. 300% tariffs on China. All this stuff coming out, you know. So I hope this doesn't have bad ramifications for an extended bear market for us. But, you know, next is Year of the Horsey. It just, yeah, I think if your coin has been super strong this year, you're a bit snaky. That's what I'm feeling from the universe. And, you know, what's the elephant in the room? Or the big snake in the room is that Bitcoin dominance was still high. Okay, so we'll see how it plays out. Also, I think Ethereum's going to turn it around big because Ethereum got embarrassed this year. Went down to 1,400. That's how I know Vitalik. It's hard for me. As someone, friends, you know me. My whole life's mission is to eradicate soy from Earth. Okay, Jesus came here, took away sin, right? People come here, they got different roles. I'm here to remove soy, filter out soy. It's hard for me to then say, okay, Vitalik, who does enjoy a soy latte, Vitalik, I think he's going to turn it around big. And I know it's no one can see it now, but it is, look, man, it's Year of the Snake, bro. Year of the Snake. The good guys, and friends, I hate to say this as well, okay, but like, look at the Coinbase deal with Up Only. What I believe is going to happen, everyone who we think is an enemy is, you can actually start to see some characters. People who they thought were great and amazing, I think they're going to have dark tints to their name as the cycle progresses. And people who we otherwise hated, things are going to like basically turn around a bit. Okay, Richard Hart's an obvious one. There's probably others I'm not immediately thinking about. But you can already see it right now. There's some snaky stuff going on. Oh, look at the Chinese exchange cabal, by the way. Binance was like pristine reputation. Look what happens. Liquidate everyone. So we're still in the middle of our story. Okay? It's not over yet. We're still going. Remember, John Bollinger, still bullish. Okay? We have this nice part to celebrate. So where are we going to go from here? That's always an interesting question we always think about. Let's play some angel music. Just to smooth it over for everyone. Okay? We're looking at a BTC range here. We're not out of the woods until we can clear this 118. Technically, friends, if we get to 115, that monthly FlopTober gets claimed where we opened. We opened FlopTober at 115. So we get back above there. Now it's up to holding it. You know, if we can close FlopTober above 115, that'd be absolutely insane. You actually flip the candle into making it green. So that'd be huge. So we're still stuck in this range. We're still waiting. Remember, a lot of good things are still coming. Technically, you know, a lot of people saying it's all over. But AI, friends, AI, I'm just telling you, man, like, it's getting exponentially good. It's getting scary good, okay? The way you talk to it and speech and everything. But it's getting amazing, but we don't have the Apple iPhone moment for AI yet. In terms of where everyone's like, the future is now, when we actually say that, right? Okay, I was going to wait for the sex robots, but I don't think we're going to get the sex robots, okay? Because it's a bit too far. Maybe that's like, 2030 decade type of stuff. Before that, man, just the thought of plugging in company data and AI telling you how to become profitable, Okay, that might be the big financialization thing we need, you know. And if there's anything to remain positive about, man, this is another thing we got to like talk about. Habibi blockchain backer, man. Let's play some Habibi Albi music right here. Come on, BCB and me were talking about the racist Russell 2000 together for 3 years, you know, and now he's just thrown it out. Now he goes, Habibi, he goes, don't worry about the racist Russell 2000. I'm out. Bear market time. I'm like, fuck, come on, bro. We've been waiting 3 years for this moment. It's holding above its all-time high, bro. Habibi, it's holding above its all-time high. And look at this. Look how many times they tried to scam us under it. They faked out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, 5, 6 times, friends. It went up or below, up. Head above water, below, above water, below, above water, below. 5, 6 times, man. And now it's on the 7th. Like, it's actually right here, bro. Like, it's just... I guess they're going to reserve judgment. But, man, like, it's the universe telling us we're in the clear. You know? But look, a couple of green weekly candles and everyone will be like, hey, it's actually time to get bullish. And then, I know the crowd, everyone's going to be saying, all of us, be like, bro, you guys know, whatever. Everyone has to make their own decision. Undoubtedly, though, people did sell after they sold, because that's what happens, right? They come out and they brag about their sell, a lot of these people, and then people sell at the bottoms, and then after they go back up, guess what? They're like, oh, I get to get back the same amount of coins. Yeah, but 99.9% of the people who you were claiming confidence to, they don't get to get their same amount of coins. They've lost like 33% in their total stack now. So they've literally had to oh, man, that sucks. That's what's going to happen, right? And then they're going to be taking more and more risk as we traverse the bull market. But that's what happens, friends. I mean, like, Uncle Bobby said this 5 years ago, and I'll repeat it for him, okay? Your number one goal in the bull market is to stay on the bull, which is quite ironic because so many people I'm quoting, they didn't even stay on the bull fully. But it's up to you and me now. We've got the lollipops, we've got the straight posture, and most importantly, we've got our friendship. Like, subscribe, catch you in the next one.